Hey guys, let me know if you can hear me. I will do formal introductions in a minute because I'm just not sure how this works. YouTube, you've got to make this a lot easier for people. No? Okay. I'm live. Why am I not live here? Okay, here I am. Okay. 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 I still don't see anything. What it takes, I see you. Okay, thank you. I can't see a damn thing. Okay, give me I'm trying to figure this out. I have a new thing going on here tonight, so just give me a minute. Hey everybody, give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I get this crap. Um, okay. Hello, What It Takes, Gia, Natasha, Yvette, GQ Artistry. Hello, all of you beautiful people. Okay. All right. Now that I see this, I see you, I see this. Hey, Shelly. I see this, I see you, I see this, I see you. Okay. Okay, so what's happening tonight? First of all, hi. I know it's going to start with me looking down, I know. But hi, I'm DeShawn Hatcher for anybody who doesn't know me. And thank you for coming to the live. So you guys know that I have the jankiest setup right now. My computer's broken, blah, 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 blah. So right now I'm working off of my boyfriend's cute little tablet. So the phone is here, the tablet's here. So if I miss anything as you are writing, I will be looking at the tablet. So you guys understand that. So just want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Miss Music and Me. Hello, Miss Music and Me. I love that name. That's so cute. So yeah, so peeps, good Sunday. Good Sunday to you all. People, I have had a couple of days of working out in the hot sun. Hold up, let me do it this way. I'm trying to set this up so I can see everything that you say, because I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss any comments, because I noticed that last week some people had said some stuff to me, and I was like, I didn't see that. So yeah, so we will wait for the people to come in. It's brutal out there. Yes, it is. Aw, thank you, Miss Music and Me. I appreciate that. Yeah, so it's just like, it's been like a minute and a half. So I'm going to try not to move much, because I've noticed that when I go, woo, it tends to freeze. I'm an animated person. I move a lot, but I'm going to try to kind of sit still so it doesn't freeze on us. But remember that if it does freeze, I hear myself speaking down here. Hold up. Wait a minute. I gotta turn myself down. There we go. But if it does freeze, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm not gonna come in and out. If it just freezes, it turns into an I always say iPod. It turns into a podcast if I freeze up. Also, I would like to get back to my normal voice, of my YouTube voice, where I'm not like projecting as much as I have to. Hopefully next week I won't be screaming at you beautiful people, because I feel like I am screaming. So tonight we are talking about agencies, and I'm here to answer your questions and tell you guys my take on agencies. I mean, I've been doing this now for a couple of years, talking to you fabulous people, and it is always from my perspective. It is not the gospel. There are many people who have different experiences than I do. I am just here to tell you what I know. I know a lot, but I'm here to tell you what I know, and I'm here to tell you the truth about what I know, and I don't sugarcoat stuff, as you guys know. So, I mean, I would give it maybe a couple more minutes, let people come in here, because folks just be slow on a Sunday, and I understand that. So how are you beautiful people doing? There's only 12 of us on here. I'm trying to think. I know I missed some questions last week, and I'm so sorry I didn't even get a chance to answer you guys back because I have been quite the busy makeup artist this week. It's been kind of hectic. So, but like I said to you guys, September 9th is when I get my new computer and I get my whole new setup. So I'll have a new live. Bring the truth, badass beauty boss. Yeah, oh, I think I owe you an email. I think I owe you an email. Yeah, what was I gonna say? So I'm gonna have a new setup soon, and like I guys, I'm gonna keep telling you in October. That's when the new videos will start, and I'm not sure if I will keep doing new videos and lives or whatever. We'll see what happens. But the new videos will go up in October. So the season 3 of DeShawn Hatcher Makeup Artist goes up in October. So there you go. Oh, and let's do public service announcements while we're here, while we're waiting. I will be Phoenix Beauty. Hello, hello. Happy Sunday to you too. Yes. Hey people, next weekend, rah, 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 your girl is gonna be in DC at the makeup show. So bring your behinds by the Graftobian booth. Come on, say hello to me. I have a class that I'm doing. I should be more prepared to tell you, but I don't remember the day. See? But if you go to, I believe the makeup show should have it up by now. I think you just do the makeup show DC and it will tell you when I'm speaking. I expect all my YouTube world to be there. Hello, YouTube people. And that's about it. I mean, I'll be there all weekend. I don't know if I'll be able to do a live there next weekend. If I am at 7 o'clock. So we will see. But I have a lot of friends in DC I have not seen in so long, and I miss them all so much. We're gonna get drunk. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. I tried to catch you to Houston Makeup Show, but it was too crazy. Yeah. And it's small, so it's really packed. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry I missed you, Miss Phoenix Beauty. Yeah, so that's the one thing I'm doing. And the other thing I'm doing is I am still creating that new website. I'm sorry that it's taking me so long. My system is just jacked up. I'm gonna have to start borrowing my boyfriend's computer so I can finish my new website. The Increase Your Speed class is still in October. It's October, the weekend of October 12th in New York. And I hope to get it up and running or something to give you information on it. This week coming, I'm so sorry that I'm a little slow with that information, but there are many ways for it, and I try to price things so my people can kind of afford them. And so yeah, so you guys know it is still on. It's just the new website isn't up, so I will inform you. Please, you know guys, I'm begging you to always look at the community board on YouTube. Here underneath my name it says community. Please go to that board and see what I got to say, because I'm giving you guys some things on me or whatever I'm up to. Hey Sylvia, do you have to be a pro for that class? No, you do not have to be a pro for that class. No. You do have to know how to do makeup, because it's not a makeup class per se. I'm not teaching you how to do like a base or this. It's more about breaking you guys of bad habits. It's all about, it's about breaking bad habits. It's about speeding you up. Yes, and I do help you with your makeup application, but it is not like a makeup class in that way. It's not like my woman of color class that I do, that I'm hands-on, helping you highlight and contour and blah, 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 blah. It's not like any of my beauty classes. Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay, honey. So yeah, so it is getting you to speed up. That's what it's all about. Like I said, I'm very proud of the results. The results have been, most of my students come in, they do makeup in about 60 minutes, a little over 60 minutes, and by the time they are finished, they're doing it in about 32 minutes. And they're doing it flawlessly, by the way. It's not like it's a rush job and everybody looks jacked up and it's like, ding, finished. No, these people look gorgeous when they're done. And it's a class. So I really work on that. And I'm finishing 2 face charts for my final exam. Oh, wow, good for you. Honey, bang them final exams out. Hey, didn't you have a question for me about Brazil? I thought, Miss Sylvia, I thought I answered you on the community board when we were talking about education. I thought I had written to you. Please check that. I thought I was talking to you. I think you asked me about being a makeup artist in Brazil, I believe, and I looked up the information online, and it's on the community board. So please make sure you give this a thumbs up, and don't forget to turn on that little bell to know when I am on, because I don't always get a chance to go online now and share postings about what I'm doing and such. I used to post on everything, but now everybody has these new regulations and I don't want YouTube on their boards, and I can't be bothered. So you have to follow me on all of my things like Facebook and Instagram. You have to follow me in order to know what I'm doing and where I am, because I'm not going to be posting that much about YouTube in my kit. They don't seem to want it anymore. I'm not posting on Glossable anymore. So if you guys want to know where I am, you got to follow. So there. And I'm drinking my tea. It doesn't look right on screen, but this is mint lime tea, and it's delicious. So, I think that's long enough. I don't feel like waiting 16 minutes today. I have some stuff to do. I have to finish unpacking and repacking my bags, and I have stuff to do tomorrow. So, we're not going to take forever. So let us talk about agencies. And when I'm talking about agencies tonight, I'm specifically really talking about makeup. Hey, Kirsten. Makeup, hair in the beauty field, celebrity driven, that thing. TV, film, we can talk about as well. If you have questions about that, it's fine. My knowledge in that area is not as deep as my knowledge in the beauty part of it. So I want you guys to understand. I speak on what I know, and if I don't know something, I tell you. So there you go. And so I'm specifically right now talking about the beauty side of our world, the magazines and stuff. And so what is an agency? An agency is where hair and makeup, nails, and fashion stylists go to be represented by an entity under the name of agency tonight, and they shop you to various magazines and projects and that thing. So that's basically, they shop you, and then, so let's say if Vogue wanted a makeup artist, they didn't have a name that they wanted. They didn't say, oh, I want DeShawn, but they wanted, show me, they would ask the agency, your rep, send me a few of your best makeup artists. And what the agent would do nowadays, back in the day, they would send your book, they would send your big portfolio book physically, and they would mail it out to them. And nowadays, they make up a composite. A composite is, see how you have the book back here, then you see you have that face back there. So just imagine like maybe 6 or 7 images on, like they make up on a computer, then they put your name on top, and then they send it out. That's kind of how they do it. And they would send that stuff out, and the people who are trying to hire you would pick the one that they like. That's basically it. I'm going to give you the basics. Basically, that's how it works. And a lot of times it's not up to you. It's never up to you, really. I mean, let's get real. It's never really up to you. It's up to the client and whom they want to work with. And if you have a stellar representation, what am I trying, not representation, a stellar, what am I trying to say tonight? Brain, I'm farting. Brain, not representation. Help me, people. Give me the word. Not representation. You have a stellar, oh God, I'm having a moment. Y'all got to help me out here. Reputation, yes! Thank you. Yes, you have a stellar reputation, and they already know of you, and you're sent into that. I got it. You sent into that package. So let's say we have What It Takes and Badass Beauty Boss, and we have Sylvia, we have Kristen. Thank you, Kirsten. In this bunch, which one are they going to pick? So if Kirsten has a better reputation than I do, you know, then they will choose Kirsten. Or let's say if you guys, this is when keeping up with the trends is going to be helpful to you. I know I'm going to jump around tonight, so please bear with me because my brain is going ting, 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 ting. So let's talk about being trendy for a minute. Let's talk about that. When it comes to being agency, I have this little tiny bug in here that's driving me crazy. Let's talk about being trendy for one little second. I'm not really into trends per se for me personally, the way I do makeup, but I have to be up on what is happening, okay? And you have to understand the agency, what it is. It's so important to keep your word and be on time. Oh, you gotta be early. You can't even be on time. Natasha, you can't even be on time. On time is late. Hey, Ms. V. Yeah, you cannot be on time in this industry. I learned that the hard way. I'm gonna go back and forth in tangents tonight, so just deal with me. I did not forget about the trends, because when she brought that up, it's very important, and you guys understand that, especially if you're semi-new or new, extremely important that you show up early, right? And so if your call time is 9 o'clock, please get there at around 8:40, 8:30, 8:45. Please do that. It took me years to understand that. It really took me years. I would show up at 9. If you told me 9, I'd show up at 9. You know, that's how I was. I'll show up at 9. No, and I had one person pull me aside and was like, yeah, you were supposed to be here early. And I'm like, no, the call time is at 9. I don't understand. And she was just like, yeah, well, call times at 9, you have to be here early. And I swear I didn't understand that, because I'm from corporate America and every penny counts. And so as far as I was concerned, you ain't paying me for 8:45. You're paying me for 9 o'clock. But the rule in this industry is, if it says 9 o'clock, get there at 8:45, 8:30 if you can. And basically all it is so that you are present, you are there, you are already set up. Because it takes us time to set up. It takes me time to have my coffee. So it takes time to set up and do all those things. And they want you ready to go to work at 9. And since you have about 15 to 20 minutes of setup time, right, they don't want you to set up during their time, is the point. So that's very, very important that you guys understand that. Like I said, I'm a very hard-headed person. It took me a long time to get that. So yeah. So let's talk about trends for a minute. Now, when I'm talking about trends, it's important to look at, obviously, the Instagram-y kind of things. You need to see that, but quite frankly, 99.9% of these agencies out here, they don't want that stuff. That's not what they hire you for. They want to see beautiful, something's clicking in here, and I don't know what that noise is. They want to see beautiful work from you. But trends mean this. A lot of times, a lot of these fashion magazines will normally are the ones setting the trends, right? And so trends mean like, I don't know, like September Vogue issue, which you know is the thickest issue that they have. It's the biggest one for every fashion magazine. That's September issue. And sometimes within that September issue, if you actually pay attention to all of the, not just their editorials, but you start paying attention to the ads, you'll start to see makeup that's very similar. You might see a bronzy effect. You might see iridescence, and you might start seeing it over and over and over and over again. And it's something that sometimes it's so subtle that you don't realize it. Well, a lot of times what they want is, when people look to us, they look to see if we're doing that particular look in our books and how well we do that. Did I say what I just said? Ooh, this little bug's driving me crazy. What I just said didn't make any sense about the trends. Let me know. Give me a yes or no, or DeShawn, you're on crack. Give me one of those, because I'm not sure if I made sense. Because this little bug's driving me crazy. GQ Artistry, thank you, GQ Artistry. Because sometimes I'm like, am I making sense? I'm still sleepy. It was a long day yesterday. Okay. Okay, cool. So I want you to, that's why I say I want you to be up on trends. I'm not saying that you have to run around do Instagram. Cool, thank you. Yeah, it's not like I'm asking you to do Instagram makeup, but you need to be aware of what's happening within our world of fashion. And you also, give me, Natasha, can you please come back around with that question, okay, honey? Please, 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 just come back around. Give me like another 5-6 minutes to just come back around with that question. So, so it's really important that you're up on trends, and it's really important that you keep testing. You have to keep testing, and that's what testing is all about. You have to, when you see something like that, right, you start to notice it, that's when you call up your friends and say, okay, it's time to play. I call it playtime. It's time to play, and you want to do that look. You want to be able to do your, in your own version of that particular look. Once you start to notice it, and you will notice it, once you see, magazines are, if you want to be in fashion, magazines are our world. That is our homework. That is where we learn from, are those fashion magazines. You have to truly immerse yourself in those fashion magazines. And you have to get to know what the heck is going on. Hey, Miss Bonita, you have to understand what's going on in our world. And if you don't, if you say, DeShawn, I haven't seen a magazine in 2 years, well, that's a problem. You know, it's important that you physically go and pick it up. It's important that you read the credits, because a lot of times, a lot of these online services that show you magazines sometimes don't always show you everything in that magazine. Sometimes they'll show you maybe the spread is, you know, when you have like a story called a story. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do a thing on understanding story and what is spread and all that stuff, because I know people don't tend to understand that either. But within, let's say the story is about clean beauty, or let's say Allure does that bullshit edition that they do where they say that the girls don't have any makeup on. I call it bullshit, because maybe they don't have makeup on, but you have lit them in such a way that it blows out everything that's wrong with their face. It's just another thing, okay? It's just little pet peeves of mine. So let's say that that is the story, right? And within the story is a spread of all these different actresses supposedly wearing no makeup on their face. So that would be it. So you'd have to understand what I'm saying. So within the spread of a fashion story, there's all these little things that you have to start paying attention to. And that's when you will start to test, and you will start to say, oh, I like that, I want to do that. You don't have to do 20,000 tests on it, but you should be up on it. And when you're trying to get with an agency, you should constantly be testing, because you don't always get picked first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th try, but you might be picked to be in the agency on the 11th try. But they want to see that you are progressing in your style. They want to see a lot of things. And so when you are thinking about agencies, think about trends and making sure you're up on the trend. Because I'll tell you now, as much as Instagrammers and these YouTubers think that they're so fabulous, and you may be making money, and I'm not mad at you about that, make your money. These magazines, if you notice, are not hiring them. Magazines and commercial shoots and all that, they're not hiring them. They're hiring real makeup artists. You know what I'm saying? So you have to go where real makeup artists are going, and they're the ones in the magazines. So we all understand about trends. House of Marty, hey everybody. So we understand what I mean about keeping up with the trends. Just give me a yes, a no, I'm not sure. Ah, la 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 la, while I sips my tea. Michelle Moody. Okay. So now, let's get to fantastic. What magazines do you recommend besides Vogue? It depends on what you want to do, Miss Kirsten. If for me, I mean, yes, hey Michelle. Yeah, for me, I'm a fashion person. So fashion, the pinnacle of fashion would be like Vogue. That's why you always hear me say Vogue. Stay in the know, but know what pays. Yes, Miss Phoenix. So, Vogue is the pinnacle, but which Vogue is the pinnacle for me? The highest for me would be Italian Vogue. That is where that editor, they're all different editors, by the way. Anna Wintour only does in the American Vogue. She does not do all of them. They're all different magazines in the Vogue line. They all have somewhat of a different philosophy in how they do makeup. Italian Vogue seems to be more, yeah, Italian Vogue needs to be more sometimes avant-garde and funky and cool. It's just different. And so that's why that is the one that gets to me. British Vogue, they just got a new editor in chief there, and he's doing some amazing work on that one. That's kind of my second one now. American Vogue would be like my third choice to really look at. My favorite magazine in the world, you can't see it, but I have a whole thing of W magazines over there. Those are my favorites. They rival for me Italian Vogue in terms of creativity that they have in those magazines. It's more high end. It's more wacky sometimes. You know, you want to say avant-garde, I like to say wacky. It's just very interesting type makeup that they're doing in stories that I enjoy. So for me, W for me is me personally is my favorite magazine of all time. Italian Vogue is another one. Pop is another one. If you could get old Pop magazines, that would be dope because they're amazing. Pop is P-O-P, Pop. Then they also have V magazine, which is another one. Thank you. Thanks, Natasha. So like V is another one. And I'm giving you all the high-end versions. You have Le Officiel that goes up there. What's the best way to catch agency's attention? Okay, well, Eunice, come back with that one. Okay, give me like 3 more seconds and come back with that one. Natasha, do not forget about your assisting thing, but come back later with that one because actually that's in the book, Assisting Rules, but I'll be happy to answer you. So you have all these different types of high-end magazines. Now you have things like Marie Claire, you have things like Glamour, you have things like magazines like that, Essence right now until it tanks. You have those types of magazines. Those are still fashion, but they're not considered high fashion. Those are more midpoint fashion where so what makes a magazine kind of high fashion really would be more so product. Like I don't think I've ever seen a NYX ad in any of the Italian Vogue W things, right? They cover the high-end world of beauty, the high-end world of fashion, where this top, you know, would be created out of silk from, you know, a cow's ass, you know, you know what I mean? Like that. And this top alone is $10,000. So it is really the price point of the clothing. And also what you'll see in high-end magazines, really high-end magazines, is the locations and all the places that they set up. Those types of shoots cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the difference. And then you get to Marie Claire. Marie Claire kind of sometimes, I'm moving too much, sometimes kind of borders kind of high. It kind of gets there. But the audience for Marie Claire is slightly different than the audience for, this little bug is driving me crazy, is slightly different than, let's say, the audience for the Vogue. Marie Claire is kind of like here, Vogue is here in terms of price point. I don't think I've ever seen a pair of pants in Marie Claire cost $20,000. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in Marie Claire, maybe the pants cost $2,000. So do you guys understand the price points of what they're selling is what dictates high, midway, and then low, right? Once you start seeing people with clothes from H&M in it, that means that the magazine has come down just a tad. I'm not saying it's a horrible magazine. It doesn't mean that it is, I don't think it's less than. I just think it's just all about price points and the viewership and how much. And then, you know, each magazine has a demographic breakdown. I don't know if you guys realize that. They have their own demographical breakdown It's their press kits. I used to really be up on most of the press kits for most of the magazines, and it will tell you how many subscribers they have. They'll tell you where their subscribers are. Most of the time, let's say Vogue would be more, even American Vogue would be more worldly. So American Vogue is all over the world and has subscribers from all over the world. Whereas Marie Claire, not saying it doesn't, but whereas Marie Claire might be more American. Makeup artists are not just sitting in front of a damn camera doing this. You have to think of the I'll use reputation because we just used that. You have to think of the reputation of what these magazines are, who they're reaching out to, and things like that. While you might say to yourself, I want to be in this agency, XYZ agency, right? I'll pick Jed Root. Jed Root is now gone. Jed Root was my favorite agency. I just loved it. It had nothing to do with me being in it or anything. I just happened to love Jed Root. I happened to love their website. I just loved everything about Jed Root. And Harper's, I don't know, you're trying to ask me about Harper's. But I happen to love Jed Root. So within Jed Root's family of artists, you will start to notice what they're working on. And most of those artists in that particular agency were working on mostly 99% of them, all very high-end magazines. And so when you're looking, so that we'll go back to agencies now. So when you're looking at agencies, you have to start to study them. And you need to see what they're working on. You need to see what their artists are working on. I know I'm pointing like it's right here, right? But you need to see what these artists are doing, because that's how you fit in. I wanted to be in Jed Root, but I didn't have a crazy amount of Vogue on me. I didn't have it. And it's important that you understand that, you have to understand the philosophies of agencies. They all have different meanings and different things that they go after. Some are more celebrity driven, exclusive. I think it's Exclusive Artists NYC. They are more celebrity driven. So if you happen to be a very lucky makeup artist and you get to do a lot of celebrities, well, they're gonna want you because, and then real celebrities, no offense to celebrities in general, but they really want real celebrities. Not somebody you go, who? Not a D-lister. They really want people who are working on B and C people, or even A-listers. They want you. So they may pick you to be on their roster. They may pick you to go on the board. But you have to understand the philosophies of magazines. This is magazines and agencies. You do have to do your homework. This is not, a lot of people will send their work out to anybody and everybody. Again, I keep saying that the more tunnel vision you are with your stuff, the better chances you have to get into something. A lot of you guys just want to just throw your stuff all the way around, and you can do that if you want and see what sticks. Is like throwing a whole bunch of stuff to the wall and see what sticks. But at the same time, you're wasting a lot of time throwing all your stuff to all of this stuff, when you could just have honed in on maybe 10 agencies, get to know those agents. Agents are bookers, so you understand. Agents are bookers. And those are the people that you need to start having a relationship with. To plug my book, because I wrote it and it's my live feed. The whole point of this book, what am I pointing? This book, is because I wanted you guys to understand this is 2019. You cannot just reach out to people in general in this industry with these form letters that people would like to send out, like all you do is change your name and you send it to me, then you send it to somebody else, and you send it, oh, I love your work, oh, I love your work, oh, I love your work. That's not enough anymore. You have to start making connections, genuine connections with people. That's how you get on. That's how you get jobs. It's a genuine connection with a person. Then you have to prove that you could do the work. That's why I wrote the book the way I did. That's why I wrote Assisting Rules the way I did. For assistants to understand that you guys have got to understand it's not enough to try to blow smoke up my ass and say, oh my God, you're so great. I don't care. Okay, great, I'm great. All right, whatever, but can you help me? And this is what agencies are looking for. Can you help me? Are you, makeup artists, going to benefit my agency? buy more money. That's what they want to know. And here's the secret. Bing, bing, bing. This is the secret. Most of the time now, they don't give a rat's ass about how great you are. They want to know your client list. That's what they want. They want to know your client list. They want to know what you are bringing to them. It is no longer really, I'm not speaking on all agencies. I'm speaking on many of them. It is no longer where they want to nurture us artists. That's not what this world is about anymore. It is about what can you do for them. So if you have a roster of celebrities under your belt, they're going to want you. Why? Because you are going to make them look better. You understand? You have a clientele already attached to you that they now can make money off of. So what does the trade? Well, DeShawn, why would I do that if I have all of this? Well, the trade-off is that they also are privy to other jobs. See, so you have your people, but they are privy to their own people. You understand? This is where it works as. Years ago, we're talking around Kevin O'Quan era, where he started. That was different. Right, what are you bringing to the table? What are you as an artist bringing to the table? Not what you can get from them anymore. It is what you're bringing. And if you ain't bringing nothing, real agencies, real agencies don't want nothing to do with you. Now, if you tell me, well, there's agencies within my town that want to sign me, that's fantastic. I don't see anything wrong with that. But what are they doing? Again, now you become, you're the person to ask the question, what are you going to do for me? Am I just going to be on a roster and you're not going to get me any work? Because if that's the case, I could sit on my ass in my house and do that. Like, what are you going to do for me? And so it's important, guys, that you understand that it is no longer the Kevin O'Quan days where, for supposedly the story goes that somebody walked in off the street with a Polaroid and said, this is what I can do, and threw it down, and they were signed and they worked with all these people. That don't happen. It just doesn't happen. If it does somewhere or along the way, that's an abnormality. The real world is, these agencies want to know your roster. Hey, Sherry. They want to know your roster. They want to know what you are bringing to them. You understand? They're in the business of making money. They want to make money off of you. So you have to get what agencies are looking for. They also want people who can do great work. You have to be able to do good work. You have to have a good reputation. You do. You really have to have a really good reputation. Unless you're one of those high-end celebrity makeup artists who has a nasty reputation but keeps working. You know? But you have to understand that agencies are not what you think they are anymore. You got to get that out of your head. You know? Now, within agencies, normally the bigger ones, they have something, they all have different names for them. I would say a newbie section for makeup and hair and whatever. So you might not have, let's say, you might not have Jennifer Lopez, but you might have, I don't know who would be under, like you have J-Lo as A-lister. Who would be a B-lister kind of person like a J-Lo just kind of coming up? I don't know. Thank you, Sherry. So, I don't know who's, Jesus, I'm trying to think of who is, whatever the B-listers are of today. I barely listen to music anymore. So whatever the B-listers of today are, whoever they are, let's say you have your B-lister on your account, right? That's one of your clients, right? This B-lister kind of person. I don't know if she's a B-lister now that I think about it. I don't know. Let's pick Zendaya. I know she's very popular. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I couldn't think. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Phoenix. Like a Halsey. She's not an A-lister by no means. She's like a BC person, right? BC. Listen, I'll take BC, okay? So that's right. So she's like a BCer. Perfect, right? But if you have a Halsey, and if you have like a couple of other those people, and you do really great fashion work, agencies might sign you. Or if they're not sure of you, but they want to test the waters, they'll put you in the newbie section of their agency. And you'll see it when you start to look at agencies, you'll start to see nouveau. It'll say like nouveau or emerging. They use all these words to mean newbie. And so they would put you not on the main board. You guys have to start looking at agencies, not at the main board. So agencies have a main board where they put their high makeup artists. Those are the ones that have like Nick Barros, who I love. Nick has Lupita Nyong'o, right? So Nick would be on the front, on that main board, right? And then I would be, let's say, on the emerging artist board, because I don't have like this high person, but I have a lot of other people on my list. So they would probably put me on a different list than Nick. And then all of the Nicks in the world in this agency, they all are on the main board, right? Exclusive New York City or exclusive NY or exclusive NYC. You guys have to look it up. Can somebody type that out? Exclusive NYC or exclusive. You need to go to that agency and you will see, if you start to click, you will see all of what they have on their roster, because their portfolio will pop up and all you'll see is celebrities. So you'll see, oh, I get it. And then exclusive has a subcategory of newbies or nouveau or something, I forgot what they call it, where they have these Disney people and they have all these people, these other artists that deal with these other types of people, right? They're not on the main board, they're on more of a nouveau board. So you have to see that. You'll start to see the difference. You will start to see the difference. That is what I'm saying. So you could possibly wind up on that nouveau board, but you still have got to cultivate a real relationship with people. Because I'm telling you, a lot of people on those nouveau boards, I'm like, why are they signed? I don't even understand. They suck, right? You'll see it. You'll write to me, go, DeShawn, I went to an exclusive. I don't understand why. And it's like, and it's not just exclusive. It's just all across the board. It's because whomever this person is, they have developed some type of rapport with this agency and they sign them. So there are several different ways to get into an agency. One is be damn good at what you do. Two is have high-end clientele or really good clientele that pays on a continuous basis. And three is to have a rapport with people, and you could probably get in that way too. But I prefer to be a genuine person who reaches out to people and, share, get to know them, get to meet them. I remember this is a long time ago. I had gotten in, I didn't get into the agency, but I had sent out feelers, want to put it this way. And this agency, a very high-end agency in LA, wanted to take a meeting with me, and I flew my ass all the way to LA. Okay? I flew all the way out there just to have a meeting with this one agency, and the meeting lasted 15 minutes. Honestly, it wasn't even that long, but the meeting lasted like 15 minutes. And he loved me, he loved my book, he was gonna sign me. But he was like, oh, I forgot you were from New York. And I said, yeah, I'm from New York. He was like, oh, well, we're opening up a New York part in a couple months. I want to put you on that roster. And I said, okay, fine, well, I'll take it. But honestly, through that meeting, I never got signed. I never got signed to the agency because the New York part took 2 years. Took 2 years to kick in. And had I just stayed up on him and said, hey, I forgot his name was Chip. Hey, I'm still interested in your agency. I kept in touch. I probably would have been signed with this agency. But because I dropped the ball, I spent all the expense to fly out there for a meeting, and yet I dropped the ball and really didn't keep in touch with the person because it took so long for this thing to kick off in New York that it's like kind of, for me, out of sight, out of mind. But had I just stuck with it and stayed with it and just dropped off a note here or there, maybe once a month, once every other month, to say, hey, remember me, tink, 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 that kind of thing. But out of sight is out of sight. This is why I keep trying to tell y'all. This is why testing for us is so important. Out of sight is out of sight. You don't keep in contact with people, they're going to forget about you. That's what happened. Forgot. I remember I contacted him when the New York thing finally kicked in. I noticed it, and I wrote him, and I was like, hey, I came out there, blah, 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 blah. He was like, oh, yeah, I remember you. Yeah, it's too late. And I was like, you're ass out. That's what happens. You get ass out. So you guys have got to be cognizant of the fact that it happens. You know, you got to keep up with things. If you really want to be within these agencies, you really have to understand the philosophy of the agency. Are they more fashion driven? Are they more beauty driven? Or are they more creative driven in terms of funky, you know, avant-garde? Or do they like a mixture of that in an agency, in your stuff? Oh, that's really long. DeShawn. Okay, I saw that. I'm sorry, guys. You know I'm janky, right? You guys know my setup is a little janky. So, what happens is that if it's a long message, it flashes here, but then it cuts off, and then I have to go down here. I have to go down here, really. Okay, got you. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about assisting because I'm done. Now, let me make sure that you guys understood everything that I just said. If you have a question in reference to what the whole thing, ask me. And I'll be happy to answer you. But then we can break off into how to assist. And don't forget, assisting rules. At assistingrules.com, there's a whole section on agencies in there. I don't know why people are not reading it, but there's a whole section on agencies. Where's the book? There's a whole section on agencies and what to do in that book. I tell you what to do to get on the list. I tell you, it's in the book. Oh, help me, Jesus. So I'm waiting for somebody to tell me you guys got that. And if you like this video, oh God, this is live. If you like this live, please make sure you give a thumbs up because YouTube seems to thumb me up or so. I don't know the algorithms in this thing. But if you could do that, we'd be amazing. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. So we can move on to assisting, okay? I wrote a whole book about it. Go get it. Okay. All right. Natasha, what was your question? Because, honey, you asked me a question. Please ask me again. And I know, EJ, you just asked me your question. I wonder if I could just scroll on this thing. I'm scrolling y'all down here. Natasha, I found you. Do agencies take applications for assistance? Got it. Okay, great. I will definitely read. Yes, please read that book, please. I painstakingly went through the agency thing for y'all. I did. Okay, so she asked me, do agencies take applications for assistance? No, not in like olden days where they would send you a form and you fill it out. No, it's more of an introduction. Like when you go into this book, there is an introduction email version in that book that explains to you how to reach out to people, right? And explains to you why I want you to reach out to people in a specific manner. Sorry, this thing's on my screen, right? Because you guys have a tendency to go on and on, and you don't need to do that. So write the introductory letter, see if that sticks. You can also, if you wanted to, send along your resume, right? You can do that. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that because you're seeking representation. So, but no, is there an application? No, there's no application, you know. Again, agencies work in a couple of different ways for assistance. Sometimes what agencies will say is the artists themselves, ones that hire their own assistants, so they don't specifically have an assistance list. You might have to reach out to the artists on the roster. Again, this is why I keep saying you have to get to know the artist on the roster. It is not just enough to know the agency. You have to listen. I have studied agencies for years, and when I say study, I literally do study them. I go into every portfolio. I read every bio. I go outside of that world and I go onto their personal website. If they have a blog or something, I read it. This is what I'm saying. See, this is 2019. There is no reason for you guys not to know about people. There's no reason. Are you coming to the Makeup Show DC? I am going to be there, and I might have a few assisting rules that I might bring with me. I think I have like 5 left because I have to reorder. I think I have 5 left. Bring cash because I'm not using my little credit card reader. Yes, but I think I'll have like 5 left. I'll bring those. That's it. But I will be there. Okay, so do you guys understand what I'm saying? You have to do your home. Thank you, badass beauty balls. You have to do your homework. You really do, and a lot of you guys don't. And the information is literally sitting in your lap, and you guys just ignore it. And it breaks my heart that you ignore it because it is right there. It is right there for you to take it. And the more that you know people, and not stalkerish and crazy, but the more that you know them, the better the relationship that you will have with them. It's about a relationship. It's like, I know it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm just too kumbaya-y and, but I really do believe that this, you know, being in this field now for about 20 years, it really is about relationships. It really is about getting to know people. That's what I feel. I feel like there's a lot of people out there who may not be the greatest of makeup artists and hairstylists and so on and so forth, but because they built a great relationship, they get a lot of work. You know, I've seen it. This is why I say, this is why it feels like, I'm pretty sure assisting rules probably feels like a kumbaya. Like, you got to get to know people. You have to be genuine when you reach out to people because we can feel it. We can feel the BS. We can feel it from you guys instantly. We know that you just took the same letter and you copied and pasted. We know that. I can literally talk to my friends and say, did you get an email in the last week from so? Yeah, I did. And it's all the same. You don't even bother to change it up that much. You don't even look us up. It's definitely more who you know than what you know sometimes. Yeah, sometimes, but imagine who you know, and then you are a kick-ass makeup artist. Boom! You will be amazing. Who you know has got to equal also the talent. That's why I keep saying testing. Testing is key for us. Testing is, you know, it keeps you going. It keeps you kind of oiled up like a car, you know, instead of like, it keeps you like going. You're, you know, you're flowing. You got to know things. You have to do your homework. You have to do your homework. You have to. So I know EJ asked me, he wants to be on Streeters. He wants Streeters. Remember, just like I just told you about magazines, and they have their own kind of like high end versus midpoint versus low, I guess you want to say low. Same thing with agencies. You have some that are very high that only deal with the top echelon of da-da-da-da. That type of agency would be Streeters. If you go to Streeters, they have several different offices. One is, I believe, in New York, London, and I thought California. I could be wrong. And I thought also Paris. And you have to start to know the roster of these artists that they have. And you have to start to understand, again, this is what the book says. Read the book. But you have to start to understand what it is that we do. And a lot of times people reach out to me, and I keep saying this whenever I speak, when I go to these schools, I always say, you guys keep sending me bright pink fuchsia lips with rhinestones on them. That is not what I do. And though I know I have very, it's called macro, where you see those like very close shots. Though you see that, I understand that. But if you really truly followed me, you would see I do primarily stuff like this that's on my book, or I do fashion-y kind of stuff, but I don't do that. That's more, for me, that's just more playtime. And I get that why people are attracted to it, but you have to look at the totality of what an artist does. We just don't do one thing. And I keep getting bright. I keep getting bright freaking fuchsia lips with rhinestones on them. I'm not going to pick you if you keep sending me bright fuchsia lips with rhinestones on them. Why? That's not what I do. So I can't. I just did a shoot yesterday for 2 days. See, I got another bruise. Look, look. For 2 days, I just did a shoot where they wanted a 60s look, right? So now if I send somebody else, let's say if I had an Instagrammer type person and I said, okay, go do the 60s look, and they beat the hell out of the girl's face and they did the eyebrow. What the hell can I do with that? That would have been a mess. So you have to understand what it is I do in the style that I do it. You have to understand that. And EJ, if you want to be in those types of agencies, you better get to know those people. You know, you got to get to know the agency, what the agency stands for. Get to know the artist. When I wanted to assist an artist, it took me, oh my God, how long did it take me? I want to say it took me a little under a year to work with a particular artist. And she wasn't in any of those types of agencies. She just did high-end celebrities that I wanted to work with. It took me about a year of constantly reaching out to her and just sending her my work. And I'm so interested in you. I was only like maybe, I'm trying to remember how long I was doing beauty. I think I was only doing beauty for maybe 3 years at this point. And I really wanted to work with this particular artist. And she was just all over the place. And she was working and working and working and working. This is after I had worked with Sharon Gold. And it took me about a year. And I kept reaching out to her agency, I was like, remember me, remember me, remember me. And I just kept doing it. I just kept doing it until she contacted me. It was like, I need an assistant. Can you send me your work? And I sent her my website. And she hired me. And I worked with her for like 6 or 7 months. That's when my whole, I thought my makeup was good at one point. You know, I thought it was really pretty until I worked with her. And then after I worked with her, my makeup got even better. And then she passed me along some jobs from her, some very high-end jobs that I had gotten. They were from her. So again, but I knew, and back in that day, by the way, the Google that you have today is like going to, I mean, I knew you guys are probably fairly young, but it's like going to the library, okay? It was like you really had to search long to find information on the old-fashioned computer. You really had to, internet, I should say, you really had to search hard. The information wasn't uploaded as quickly as it is today. You really had to go on. I mean, I could be on there for hours trying to find a picture. Nowadays, you could speak into the damn computer and say, give me a picture, and then boop, there it is. This is why senior artists don't understand what is I'm trying to find the right word. Wrong. Wrong with newbies, because you have everything at your disposal, but you don't use it. And we don't understand that. It's very perplexing to us why you guys don't utilize Google, because it's a force of information. And then you guys walk around and go, I don't know. You just have to literally speak into Google and say, hey, Google, what about da-da-da-da? And it will all pop up. And for many of us, if you really want to know these people, for many of us, we find that very lazy, and it's not sexy, and we're not interested in having you assist. It is the artists that know what we do backwards and forth, that understand, do you suddenly make us go like this? You are in a sea of hundreds. I can't imagine how many letters Lisa Eldridge gets for assisting. I can't imagine. Her head must snap about how many letters or emails or so on. Oh, I want to be your assistant. I can't imagine how many she gets a day. And they're probably all very similar. Whereas if you do it like I tell you to, you will get her attention. It's all about getting attention. And a lot of times people just don't, you guys just do not seem to get it. Got to get our attention. And it's not really about kissing our ass. It's really about demonstrating it is what you can do for us, how you can make our lives on set better. That's what it's about. So I would, EJ, do your homework, do your research, and really get to know people, really get to the innards of them, because that's how you can reach out to Elisa, or I forgot whoever else you asked for, and get to know them. You have to get to know them. It's a very personal thing nowadays. It's just not the surfacey stuff. I'm trying to get you guys to go deeper. That's what assisting mules is about. It's about getting you to go deeper. You know, I could have written a book just to give you surfacey bullshit all day long. I could have written a book that says kiss their ass, do this, do that, but I didn't. The book is completely opposite. It is delve into the artist, do your homework, do your research, get to know them, because when you do, it's a genuine connection that they won't forget. But we get surfacey all day long. That's not what we want. You're going to be with us for, Jesus Christ, you can be with us for 18 hours, you know. You know what I mean? You could be with us all day long. You could, you know, you could be with us more sometimes than some people with their children and their spouses. And it's a very intimate connection. You have to understand that. So if you really want to get to know them, get to know them. Lisa Eldridge is just a joy. What a lovely lady. I'm so proud that I know her. I can't even say, I can't believe I could say that I know her. It's crazy. But a lot of these people are just a joy. You just have to make the connection. You really got to start to study what it is she does and how of a importance. What can you bring to her? What can you bring to her? And if you say nothing, that's wrong, because they're looking for all different types of things, you know? They're looking for all different types of things. You have to know what it is you're bringing. I'll give you a quickie story. I think I've already told the story. I'll tell it again. I know I tell it when I speak, but I will tell it here in terms of how to get a job. So you guys understand what I mean by the research. I was up for a job, okay? I was up for I was referred that this makeup company was looking for a key makeup artist to run a fashion show in the tents. Being in the tents is like being in Vogue, okay? So I was like, oh my God, I want that job, I want that job, I want that job. But I had to interview. I just, you know, it wasn't like, here it is. I had to interview, and I was up several other makeup artists. And I was like madly determined to get that job, like a crazy person. And one of the requirements of the job was clearly, you know, give me your resume. But the other requirement of the job was please submit. I think they asked for 3 references for the job. And I was like, oh, you just want 3? I don't have 3. I have 30. And I asked everybody, I sent out an email blast to all different types of people I've worked with throughout my career. And I said, I really need references from you guys. You know, they're looking for a leader, you know, and a makeup artist, and I need references like that. And I had, not only did I submit my assistants' references, I submitted people I worked for, corporations that I worked for. They all gave me a very glowing, oh my God, Sean's amazing thing. And I submitted them all. I didn't submit 3 because they asked me. I submitted them all, and it blew them away. Like, damn, you know, I went above and beyond. You know, there's a section in there called I forgot. I would say over-deliver. Over-delivering in this business is very important. You have to. It's not enough just to do enough. You have to over-deliver what you do. You have to, if I ask you, hey, can you get a coffee? Everybody who assists me, who may be on here, know how much I love my coffee. So if you bring me the coffee correctly and in a timely fashion, that's gonna go ting for me, right? I'm like, I remember you because you got my coffee right. You understand? Like, it's like you have to over-deliver what you do. You have to over-deliver, over-research people. You have to put the time in, you know? I mean, it's like anything. It's like any type of service that you might, we're service people. So just think of it this way. It's like any type of service that you're looking to, yeah, in any business. You're at Starbucks, Leah, since she's so into coffee. You're in Starbucks, right? And you have a barista that literally takes 25 minutes to pour you a cup of coffee. I think you're going to be a little annoyed. Whereas if you had a barista that they took your name, what's your name? Put it in the cup, put it down, there were 15 people ahead of you. Within a matter of 4 minutes, you got your coffee. You'd have been like, damn, that was amazing. How did she do that so fast? How did he do that so fast? You'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go back to that Starbucks because that barista just churned out 20,000 coffees in 2 seconds, right? And then you can get your coffee, go. You understand? But when you guys just don't do the research, you don't want to look people up, that's the part that I don't understand. Streeters is a high thing. Make sure that you have really beautiful makeup. Because a lot of times Streeters doesn't want, and I'm not going to say they never take newbies, but sometimes, hey Erica, sometimes they want, like I could probably wind up on their assistance list. Doesn't mean I'll wind up on their board, but I could probably, if I reach out to Streeters, I probably will get on the assistance list, right? I'm 20 years in this business. I have magazines and stuff up the butt. It doesn't mean that I am Streeters material for the main board, is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Also, a lot of times they'll take an artist like me who's been around for a long time, but still, you know, she hasn't broken that particular ceiling. They may say, what I would like for you to do, DeShawn, is, I know that you've gotten all this stuff, but I think the best thing for you would be to assist, let's say, a Lisa Eldridge, right? If it's that type of agency, they may recommend that you assist a couple of these high profile people. Why? Because they want you, one, to get to know, to see the lay of the land of how they run things, but they also want you to get an education before they can put you on the board. They want Lisa Eldridge and this one and that one and all these people to give you a reference. Like Lisa might say, oh, DeShawn was lovely, she's this, she's that, and then the next person might say, oh my God, she's so amazing. The third person might say, you know what, I really like DeShawn, but she would, you know, she showed up at 9 when everything was supposed to be at 8. You know, I know the call time was 9, but she kept showing up at she kept showing up at 9. She really didn't show up on time. She didn't come early enough. So you understand what I'm saying? So you have to like blow everybody away, and then that's what agencies will do. They'll start to test you and I. They'll start to test you and I out to see if we are main board material, right? And then as assistants, they will. The only way to test you is a letter that you're going to send, references that you're going to send in terms of your photos. Because again, if you're going to show your work to a Streeters, honey, that better look amazing. That has to look amazing. It cannot look kind of like off. It has to look amazing. You need to, it's like a lot of people think, oh, it's just enough just to send pictures. It should be what the philosophy of that agency is about, not what you want it to be, but what the agency is about. You need to pinpoint what it is they do. I keep saying it. I say that in every facet of our industry. You have to understand what it is that they do. And so all of those, it's great. I love Streeters. I love to go on their board, but you really have to understand what it is they do. You really have to maybe send out a heartfelt letter, about your aspirations as an artist and so on and so forth for them to get the attention. But remember, if you're going in as an assistant, you are there to serve people, not to be the star. And so I would, again, tailor it to what the book tells you, which is to make sure that you explain in a very succinct paragraph about what it is that you do and how you can be of service to these key artists. But if they say to you, well, we don't have an assistance list, you have to contact each and every artist on the roster, then again, it says to get to know them. And then through getting to know them, then you can write that letter and then you can send it out. There's really, whether it's an agency or whether it's a person, there's really not too much of a disparate difference between how you connect to somebody. There really isn't. They're all human beings. You're not applying to a robot. You're applying to real people. And I always say, get to know, if you really, let's say you keep calling Streeters and you're not getting through. Well, you better get to know that receptionist really well. I'm telling you now, receptionists will let you through. Receptionists will feel sorry for you. And they'll say, oh my God, DeShawn has called every day for the last 3 months. Would you please talk to her? Could you just talk to her? Would you please? Honestly, they will take I was a receptionist for a long time when I was a youngin', and my heart would break for people because they would call all the time. And then I would break down and say, oh God, okay, listen. All right, let me take your number again. Let me see what I can do. And then we say, let me see what I can do. And then you do it. But there's a lot to it. There's just a lot to it. But you got to jumpstart. Sweetie, you have the book. You have a jumpstart into understanding what it takes to really get through. And if you do it correctly, it might not even take you that long. Come on, EJ, you're on the board. You're on, there's an assisting rules message board. Am I freezing? Something's happening. There's an assisting rules message board for all of you who have the book. It is on Facebook. Go to assistingrules.com and, go to Facebook and look up Assisting Rules. That is the board. And we talk about stuff like this. You know, you read the book. It's all right there. I'm telling you, it's right there. I know it's like, it feels like maybe it's not enough information, or you're just nervous and you just want more information, but it really is all in there. It really is. Honest to God. Okay, and I know you said you're trying to build your first portfolio. Well, sweetie, if you're trying to build your first portfolio, then if you love Lisa Eldridge, if you love, I think Rami is in there. If you love a couple of those people that's in there, and you really have a target of the artist on their roster that you happen to love, then you should start to try. I'm not saying you will get to where the images of Lisa Eldridge or anybody else in that board, because it not only is not about the makeup, but it's also about the photography and the model and all the extra stuff that goes along with it. But if you can get as close to it as possible, that would be fantastic. And then you could submit your work that way. But at least right now, the best thing about you, EJ, is that you know what it is you want. I think that's fantastic. You know what you want. You want that. I was like, I know what I want. I want that agency. I don't want to work for those people. That's perfection. At least you know that. So you're not throwing stuff at a wall. You know what you want. Start to research. Start to look them up. What do I say? Research them. Look them up. Follow them on boards. All of that stuff. Get to know them. And then build your book towards what it is that you see. Do you get it? Okay, I don't know what that is. I'm live. Hi. So, there you go. That's all I can say to you, beautiful people. Is this person going to be annoying? I can't tell. Okay, so any more questions so I can, we could wrap this up? And by the way, did that whole tirade make any sense? Just let me know. And if you're still watching, could you please give this a thumbs up? Thank you. Thank you. I'm just waiting for y'all to answer me back. I know a lot of you guys listen to me while you're walking around the house, so. Thank you, GQ Artistry. Thank you, my Nubian princess. Okay, so I am, EJ, if you have any more questions, honey, just hit me back on the board, Facebook. But if that is the case, thumbs up and share, and much appreciated. Yes, preparing. I know you guys aren't like physically sitting there. I know you guys are listening. It's cool. Yes. Good, I'm glad. Great. Yes. Aw, thank you, Tony. Well, thank you for listening. Badass there, thank you. I know a lot of times, you know, you guys, I do realize that you guys are listening to me in your heads and such. But yeah, but I am going to get off this thing. Yeah, attention to detail is everything. Attention to detail is everything. It's everything. It really is, especially when you're going after something. It's different, like, you know, it's not different than anything. When you're going after these types of artists, remember, you are one of a lot of people. You're one of a lot of people. You have got to get their attention. I'll tell you a quick story real quick how I met Lisa Eldridge for the first time to get you guys to understand the length that I went to to meet this woman. I went to a length. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so real quick so you guys understand. I'm a senior artist, 20 years in the business. This is what I went through to meet Lisa Eldridge, okay? Okay, the book just came out, Assisting Rules just came out, and IMATS, IMATS International Makeup Artist Trade Show, was lovely enough to allow me to speak there, and but I had gotten really sick, really sick. I had like 100 and almost up to 104 temperature. I was really sick, and I was really sick. But I was speaking on a Sunday and Lisa Eldridge was speaking on a Saturday, right? And what I should have done was to stay in the house, nurse myself, take as much stuff as I could, you know, to get ready for my time on stage, because I was, you know, doing my speech, so talk, so to cool, thanks House of Marty, so I could be prepared for, I was on a panel that year, and then I was also doing my talk with you guys, and I was also on top of it doing a book signing on Sunday, and I was on top of it doing a meet and greet. So I had a lot of stuff on Sunday to do. I should have stayed my ass in the house. And I was like, oh hell no, I will not stay my ass in the house. On Saturday, I hopped in a cab and spent, it was a crazy day too. So I remember getting up, just like you ever seen somebody being dragged somewhere? That's how I felt like. I was dragging myself out of the house, and I had, at that day I had 100 and some odd temperature, and I was not going to miss this opportunity. And I didn't even ask for a special favor. I didn't ask for Michael Key, who is the person who runs IMATS, who I adore and just love him. I didn't ask him for a special favor. Oh, let me meet her. I didn't do that. I don't like doing that if I can find other ways to do things. Excuse me. And so I decided to make sure that if she was going to be speaking at a certain time, that I wanted to be there at the front of the line when she was done speaking, because she was going to do a book signing. I got my rusty ass up out of that house, was able to put makeup on as best as I could, and I hightailed my behind to IMATS. I got there and could barely walk. I was exhausted. I was so sick, and I wasn't contagious, by the way. So I wouldn't have gone if I was contagious. So we'll put it that way. I got to the front of the line. I had to wait 20 minutes for her to finish speaking, but I was the first person there. The first person. This is DeShawn Hatcher, a person who wrote a book, a makeup artist who's been in the field for 20 years, who has her own following, who has all of this. This is what I did to meet Lisa Eldridge and to give her my book. And so I'm the first person online. Here she comes. I'm, you know, in my head, I may be sick, but I'm flipping out because I just love her so much. And I was able to not only finally talk to her, even though it wasn't for a long period of time, but I got a chance to talk to her. And we got a chance to exchange books, because we were all on the same, we were all on this promotion together. It was Lisa Eldridge, myself, and Ray Morris. I still have it. I'm gonna frame it. Like I'm talking about, I'm getting like, I'm getting like tingling. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Like I'm on this thing with these two amazing artists and I'm dying. And she couldn't be more lovely. She signed her book to me. She gave me her book. I gave her my book. And then I didn't think anything of it because I figured, you know, she has so much. She's, you know, she gets so much stuff. You know, somebody gives her a book. What does that mean? And not only did she get the book, she read the book, and then she posted the book on Instagram and said, if you want to be an assistant, this is the book that you should get. And I goddamn died. But I want you to understand, you see what I went through to meet this lady. I could have asked Michael, can you please do, but I didn't want to. Why should I do that when I'm capable of doing these things on my own? You guys are capable of doing so much on your own, okay? And you gotta understand that. And now, like, I'm I'm not saying these are my best friends or anything, but you know, it's cool that she knows who I am, and you know, it's like wow. And I could write her, and I could say, "Hi, Lisa, can I ask you something?" And we have a rapport. I mean, who would have ever thought I would have a freaking rapport with Lisa Aldrich? Okay, so this is what I'm saying. You have to put in effort. You have to put in effort, and the effort for me was to get my rusty ass out of the house, my sick rusty ass out of the house, to get down to IMATs, and then come back, you know what I mean? And literally, I came in, and then I came out. I only came in to meet her. I could barely stand on my feet, and I had to sit down outside, wait for a car service to come to get me because I couldn't walk across the street. I was exhausted, and then I walked out, waiting ever so patiently off to the side, and these two lovely people came by, Husky Grip and Lizette. If you guys are watching, you know I love you, and they were my saviors because they noticed they noticed me, came over to say hello, and I just was like, y'all, I don't really have the energy for anything. And then the next following day, they helped me out so much because they knew I was sick from the day before, so they helped me. So this is what I'm saying, like all of these things happen when you help yourself. You get it? Help yourself. And things magically, I do believe in the universe, I do believe in karma, I believe in all of that. Things magically can happen for you, but you got to put the work in. You got to put the effort in. So with that, my sermon is over for the Sunday. Thank you all for coming to my congregation. And I will be back hopefully next Sunday. Might be just for half an hour to say hello. Might be to show you the makeup show, because that is phenomenal. Or it might be to say hello with my friends. It might be, woohoo, I'm drinking with my friends. So good night, everybody. I'm getting off this thing, and I will see you.